On today's episode, I review this. I'm excited. Welcome to this episode of The Northern Listener. I'm Brian, and today we are going to talk my favorite band, Pink Floyd. And this wonderful recording, The Delicate Sound of Thunder, reissue from November of last year that came out, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So this is a big one for me, and I've had this for a month and a half, maybe close to 2 months, before I actually gave it a listen. And it was one of those things where I've got newer. I upgraded my turntable. It's back there around Christmas, and I wanted to give it some time to get some hours on it before I put this on, because these guys, this is, like I said, my favorite band of all time, and I really wanted to make sure that I had, both my turntable working the way that I wanted, and I actually had enough time set aside to listen to this and give it a proper cleaning and everything like that. So a little bit about this show. It was originally recorded in 1988, so it's a non-Roger Waters show, in case anyone was not aware of that. It's a compilation of, it says on the back here, it's a compilation of 5 nights of shows that they recorded in New York in August of 1988. It was originally released in 88 as well. This is the first live Floyd show that was officially released by the band. So there aren't many of them. Really, there's only a couple. 3 in total. There's this, there's Pulse, and there is a version of The Wall that has never been released on vinyl, actually. This is the reissue. So this was last year. They remixed and re-released this. This issue's got a lot of different changes from the original that they did back in '88. They've added more songs. There's 7 additional songs on this show, and they've added and deleted different parts of different songs as well. So they've really reworked this quite a bit. So it is fairly different if you happen to have an original copy of it. I don't, and I've only listened to it digitally, but it is fairly different than the original release that was out there in '88. I ordered it through Amazon. I'm in Canada, so Amazon Canada is where I got this, and you can buy it there right now. It's about $90. So that's where I got it from. But let's get into what we've actually got here. So first things first, the look and feel of this box. I really like the way that they've presented it. It's got a nice cutout here in the front, so you can see what's going on in behind. It's fairly simple, with a cool photo on the front that I really like. But let's get into what we've actually got here. So the box itself, there's a couple things that that I'm not too keen on with this, and the box itself is one of them. It's a cardboard box that is fairly flimsy. It's not heavy duty at all, and if you compare this to, say, the Pulse set, the Pulse set has a really robust box that you get. This is more of just a cardboard sleeve almost, so I kind of wish it was a little bit better and more heavy duty than what they've actually got here. So if I pull out what we've got here, I'll set these aside for a second. So there's the box. Like I said, it's fairly flimsy. Mine came with a little bit of damage. You can see in the corner it's got a bit of a bend there, and there's another one on the front here. I don't know if you can see it kind of right there if you get in the right light. But because of how flimsy this is, it does have, you can get it. It can damage and it can bend fairly easily. So I wish that was a little bit better, but it's not the end of the world, really. Inside, it came with a booklet, and also the 3 discs. So three LPs that came. Really nice presentation on the cardboard inner sleeves here that they've got. I really like what they've done with the pictures on them. You know, they've got a picture of each of the members of the band, of the original members of the band on here. So you know, you've got Rick Wright on one, and then you've got Nick Mason on that one, and you've obviously got David Gilmour on the third one. But each of them, what they did really well with these is, so they've got the nice cardboard sleeves here with some good artwork and pictures and stuff. I love that they actually put proper inner sleeves in here. Unlike Pulse, where you got the cardboard and then you had your own inner sleeves. In this case, they actually give us proper inner sleeves that are lined, and so, you know, black. I know for some reason black inner sleeves just look nice and clean all the time, but I like that they did that. That was kudos, a big win there on my part. Let's get into the vinyl and what it actually looks like. So when mine came, they were very, you know, quite clean looking, for the most part, fairly flat and not really warped, which was kind of nice, since, you know, a lot of vinyl that we get nowadays seems to come warped all the time, and that's a whole nother video and conversation in itself. But the quality control seemed to be pretty good on these. There wasn't not a lot of warping, not a lot of dirt or paper filings, things like that you normally see. Still clean your records before you put them on to play, but I found that these ones were quite good. So for me, with cleaning, I gave them a pretty good clean. I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner. I use a spin clean, so I gave them a couple passes through that, and before I put them on. And when we get to sound quality, it definitely enhanced it. The other piece in the box is the booklet, and this is my other kind of gripe with this set, is this booklet. Like, look, you can see it's very flimsy. It's really easy to damage it and to get bends in it. Mine's got, you can, again, it might be hard to see, but I've already got a bend in there from just it laying around out of the box while I was opening it up and maybe putting it back in. I don't know, but easy to, really flimsy. Again, unlike Pulse, where it's a hardcover bound booklet, this one is, you know, just not quite the same. The contents in it are, you've got some nice photos from the show. You've got, you know, information on the band members, like, you know, track listing and things like that. So there's not a ton of information in here that you're not going to sit down and go through this, you know, and read it too much. There's not a lot inside, but, you know, it's nice to get some, you know, more than just one sleeve in the box with the show. So let's get on to sound quality of this thing, the real meat and potatoes of it. And how does this sound? And my first things first is my main comparison is going to be to Pulse, because that is a wonderful recording, and sound quality on at least on the one that I have, is fantastic. This one here is probably a better sounding recording in my mind and pressing than what Pulse is. To me, it actually sounds better. The mix that they did, and the clarity of this pressing and what it sounds like, I found it to be superior to Pulse, which is surprising for me, because that's kind of my main comparison for a Pink Floyd recording, and I absolutely love it, and I think it's fantastic. You know, comparing it to some other live recordings that are out there, you know, some of the Rogers live recordings and David Gilmour's other stuff. This is really, really good. It sounds like a good quality job has been done when they put this together. The one that I'm really looking forward to comparing it to is Live in Pompeii, which I have back there. That hasn't been opened or listened to yet. That's going to be kind of next on the list, and I'm going to do one of these same reviews for that one as well. But this one here is, from a quality of sound standpoint, it sounds better than Pulse to me, which I didn't think was going to happen. So, like Pulse, when you're listening to it, this is about experiencing it, and really, this isn't something that I would just put on in the background while I'm doing stuff around the house. This is something where you really need to set some time aside and sit down and really immerse yourself in what's going on here, because this show is fantastic, and when you start listening to it, you're really going to notice that. I didn't really get a lot of pops and clicks or anything like that with this. There was a few here and there, but nothing that too crazy. Like I said, I gave it a pretty good clean before I put it on. My system is what you would probably consider a budget system, with maybe the exception of my cartridge, which is I use an Artiphon bronze on it. But aside from that, I don't have anything too crazy back there that I listen to. We'll go through it, maybe a different video, but you can see I've got some bookshelf klipsches and a Rega P2 turntable. I do have a nicer cartridge on it, but after a good clean, this sounded phenomenal, and it was really, really clear, and I think they did a really good job with the mixing on it, and some of the stuff that they did to it. It just sounds great, and to me, without getting into any of the technical items when it comes to a recording, to me, I judge it by what I hear and what my ears are telling me, and to me, this was just top-notch, a top-notch listening experience. There's a couple standout tracks on here. Like the track listing is pretty darn good. A couple of them that really stood out to me, though, were Sorrow and On the Turning Away, and Us and Them from Dark Side was really, really good on this during this show. But really, the standout to me was On the Turning Away, which from Momentary Lapse of Reason, and you don't get to hear that too often. It's not one of the bigger songs that they play a lot, and on this recording, I thought it was fantastic. I was taken aback a little bit about how good it was. The one song that probably most people are waiting for at the end of the show is Comfortably Numb, and I like to compare, because I always try and, it's my favorite song of all time, and I always like to try and compare and find what the best one is. And really, for me, the best versions of Comfortably Numb are based on the second solo, and the rest of the song is the rest of the song for the most part, but it's really, what does David sound like during his second solo. And I'm going to be honest, on this recording, it's not the greatest live version of Comfortably Numb. I thought he was more dynamic on Pulse, and obviously, and I'm waiting, I can't wait to listen to the Live in Pompeii on vinyl, because I've seen it in the theater and on the Blu-ray and digitally and everything. I love his solo on Comfortably Numb and Live in Pompeii, and I can't wait to listen to it. But this one just left me wanting a little bit more. Like I said, it's not bad by any means, but in comparison to the genius that is David Gilmour on some of the other recordings, it doesn't stand out as much as some of the other ones that are out there. Even actually, there's one of Roger Waters' live versions that I believe it was Doyle Brommel played lead on that show, and his solo in Comfortably Numb was fantastic on that as well. But so if you're getting it strictly for a live version of Comfortably Numb, there's other ones out there that might be a little bit better. From a track listing perspective, this recording was done after, like, this tour was after Momentary Lapse of Reason came out, so you're not gonna, unlike Pulse, you don't have anything from Division Bell on this. So you have a more Momentary Lapse songs, which is kind of cool. The other thing you don't really get on here is you don't get any of the early stuff on here, like Astronomy Divine or any of that. You've got some, obviously you got some stuff from Dark Side and Wish You Were Here, and things like that, but you don't get any of the really early stuff on here either, which is a little bit disappointing. So track listing wise, I think that's where Pulse rises above this one, is that the track listing on Pulse is superior to what you've got here. I'm a big Division Bell fan, so I like having songs like High Hopes on live, and it's hard to beat when they play Dark Side of the Moon from beginning to end during the show as well. So that's where you kind of with Pulse get a little bit more in my mind than when you get here, but not saying that this is poor by any means. It's still a very good show. It's just, I think it's not quite as good from a track listing perspective as what you get with Pulse. All right, final verdict. If you're a fan of Pink Floyd, this is must-own material right here. It's the quality is very good. There's not that many live official live recordings out there that they've released and that they've had their hand in mixing it and everything. If you're a Pink Floyd fan, you need to own this. You won't be disappointed with it whatsoever. Is it worth the price? Is this worth, for me in Canada right now, if I were to go buy it right now on Amazon, $90, if I base it on the quality of that, like I said, my couple of cons, the box quality and the booklet, that's not quite as robust as it probably could be. Based on the quality of the sound, and when you compare it to other live recordings that are out on the market right now that are similar to this, the 3 discs, and everything, it's right around where it should be. Would I like it to be cheaper, and would I like to pay less for it? Obviously, I would with anything, but I don't think that this is really all that out of line for what you get. You get a very, very good quality show that's been mixed quite well and pressed quite nicely. The sound quality is very good. So I don't think that it's really out of the realm of where it should be. I don't think you're getting ripped off here, because you're getting a quality recording for your price, for your money. So in the end, 100% I completely recommend picking this up, and if you do, you're not going to regret it. It's a phenomenal set, and I'm super happy that I waited to listen to it, because you only get that first listen experience one time, and wow, I was blown away, particularly on the quality of the sound on this in this set. So go pick it up. It's definitely worth it, and you're not going to be disappointed, like I said. So I appreciate you listening and hanging in there till the end of this. If you could smash that like button down there for me to help the channel out, and maybe hit the subscribe button if you like, and you can see some of the stuff that I'll be bringing out a little bit later. The other thing is, if you hit the little bell down there, you'll get notification whenever any new videos come out. So thanks a lot for sticking through this with me, and go and get this.